So Modern Warfare 2 2022 has finally come out, and I've already put a good amount of time into the game. I'm currently at the max rank of level 55 and almost have half my weapons maxed out. So I think I could safely form a review of this game right now upon its release. Now, given this is a review of the multiplayer on release, there's a lot of things that will be fixed, changed, and added over time. I'll probably make an updated review on it once we finally see changes, if they even happen, but yeah, let's get into it. So to start off, I want to talk about the good. Generally speaking, multiplayer is really fun. I've been having fun grinding this game so far. It has kept me entertained and engaged for hours on end. I've been spending a lot of my time leveling up weapons, but honestly I enjoy the grind. The weapons feel a lot better than they did in the beta. There's little to none muzzle flash, and the visual recoil isn't that bad. Also, the weapons themselves feel pretty balanced. Each category does as it should for the most part. For example, ARs and marksman rifle/battle rifles are good at medium to long ranges, while SMGs and shotguns are good at close ranges. There hasn't been a one gun does it all as of right now, like in previous games. A good example is the Lockman sub, or the MP5 as we remember it, is really good at close range gunfights, but at medium to longer ranges, it's really not that good at all. Unlike previous games, the MP5 would melt people from pretty much every range. This time around, it looks to be actually balanced though. The only gun that's maybe kind of standing out right now is the SPR. It's a marksman rifle, and it's extremely fast in its ADS time.
You're halfway to mission complete. Stay sharp.
And seeing how it's a marksman rifle, it one-shots, but honestly, it does take a good amount of skill to be able to hit shots with a one-shot weapon like that, so I wouldn't say it's completely broken. Other than that, everything else seems to be pretty good. Likewise, the movement in this game is actually really good in my opinion. There's really no advanced movement like in previous games. You can't slide cancel or b-hop at all. Really, the best form of movement there is right now to help win gunfights is either strafe jumping or drop shotting. Whoa! I personally feel like it's a good change though, because slide canceling and b-hopping were terribly overused. Also, the other forms of movement feel really good as well. Running, sprinting, swimming, jumping, vaulting, all of that feel good. Nothing feels too clunky or broken at all. I'd say the only form of movement that's not necessarily bad, but not useful, is the new feature to hang on the edge of a wall. I just don't see many situations where I'd use it, but it's there if you want to use it. Additionally, the kill streaks are good in this game. You're able to switch to score streaks if you'd like, or stick to kill streaks, which I found to be a really cool feature. Overall, the kill streaks feel really balanced. They're not crazy good, making it impossible to play the game when they're active, but they're not terrible to where they feel useless. I also like how you're able to pick any 3 kill streaks you want instead of just being limited to 1 per category like they did in Modern Warfare 2019. I'd say kill streaks are at a pretty good place right now, and there's a good variety of them. The only thing that kind of sucks is there's no specialist right now. I know that there's not a lot of people that use specialists, but there is a select few people that do like to run specialists. I personally love to run specialists back in Modern Warfare 2019, so it kind of sucks that it's not there, and I really hope that they do put it in the game. Moreover, the new Gunsmith 2.0 in this game is good. I think it makes leveling weapons a lot easier and allows for less confusion. The system itself is a lot more organized compared to the beta, if you're worried about that. The game actually tells you when you're able to unlock certain weapons within its weapon tree, and makes it easier to switch between each weapon within that said tree. The game also gives you a little tips on how it all works, so you can easily understand the new Gunsmith. I really like how if you unlock an attachment for a weapon, I could then use that attachment for another weapon. It makes leveling up weapons so much easier, because when I finish a weapon and go on to another one, it's completely bare bones. And usually you don't unlock good attachments for it till it's already like level 15. So being able to put attachments on that gun pretty much as soon as I get it to like level 5, it's so much better. I could pretty much have a fully kitted out weapon by level 10, if not earlier, and I love that. The only thing I will say about the attachments in this game though is be careful what you're putting on for attachments, because for whatever reason it seems like a lot of the attachments make your gun slower within this game. So figuring out the proper attachment combination to put on a gun is a little tricky, but again, it's the start of the game. It's still released. So over time we'll start to find the best attachment combinations to put on a gun. But I just thought I'd mention that beware what you're putting on your gun, because it could make it significantly slower with ADS times already being really slow. Finally, a few things worth mentioning are the camo challenges are completely changed in this game, but honestly for the better. Each gun only has 4 camo challenges you need to complete, some even 1 or 2, as well as a final one to get gold or any other mastery camo challenge. But they're all fairly easy to complete and they're universal, which is awesome. That means if I unlock a camo on, let's say, my M4, I can now use that same camo on any other gun. So if you were to unlock all the camos for every gun, you would have a total of 184 camos to choose from. The new camo system makes grinding for camos so much easier, and it allows for a lot more variety. Now the more casual player, quote unquote, is able to actually go for the mastery camos. The other thing I wanted to mention was that the leveling system in this game is actually pretty good. It's quick, easy, and straightforward. It luckily doesn't feel like it takes forever to level up, and is overall a good pace in my opinion. The only thing that sucks is as of right now, we don't have a prestige system. Not only the traditional prestige system, but the new one as well. So once you get to level 55, you're capped there. You cannot move. I'm hoping with season 1 that will change and we will get some sort of prestige system, but just be warned, as of right now, there is no way to prestige. Also, while it might not be a big thing, final kill cams are back instead of the play of the game, which might make a few people happy to hear. I know a lot of people were complaining about the play of the game, so it's good to see final kill cams finally back. Moving on, I want to talk about the things that, let's say, are alright within this game. Kind of stuff that's, well, not the best, but it's not the worst either. Things that are good, but also bad at the same time. To start off, I want to talk about the maps. Most of the maps are pretty good for the most part. They're a 3-lane design with a lot of different levels to it, meaning there's a bunch of ways you can get to high ground if you so choose. Also, I'd like to say there's a good amount of cover you can get behind, which is nice. I think it's also worth mentioning the parkour on the maps is awesome.
2 up top. I'm doing parkour to get up there. So sick. I love that. Let's hit the illest flank.
I love how there's no one way to get up a building or into a room. If there's, let's say, a sniper holding a rooftop, instead of just having one staircase to get to that rooftop, you could parkour up the side of the rooftop by mantling certain objects to flank the sniper. That's really the only good thing about the maps though. The things that aren't good about the map are the fact that there's only 11 6v6 maps and 5 ground war maps. That's honestly not that many. Also, 2 of those maps, the 6v6 maps, are absolutely awful and not even worth playing. So really, it's like we only have 9 6v6 maps. And when I say absolutely awful, I mean they are awful. One of them is so bad that I refuse to play it. The middle lane is just filled with cars. Like literally, it's just a highway of abandoned cars.
Hardpoint located. Lock it down.
Oh. So as soon as you spawn on the map, you'll usually have someone throwing a frag and blowing up your whole team. And if that doesn't manage to happen, at some point I guarantee it will happen because of how many cars are on the map. On top of that, with how many cars, you can't even see the enemies. Usually they're all just sitting behind cars or camping behind a car. It's fucking, the cars are insane. There's too many cars. It's a terrible map. That shouldn't be a map. Whoever designed that map should be fired. Take the map out of the game. It's just, there's not enough maps in my opinion, especially when it feels like the same 3 maps are in rotation. It really sucks. Furthermore, I want to talk about the new perk package system. I just feel it's really unnecessary. While it's not game breaking, I just don't think that there was anything wrong with the old perk system. It did as it was intended to do, and it did it well. I think the only benefit from the new perk package system is that the OP perks that everyone usually runs are not given at the very start. But really, that's it. At least we're given a decent variety of perks to choose from. But I really wish that Ninja or Dead Silence was a perk. I also wish that Battle Hardened made you completely immune to tacticals instead of just lessening the effects on them. But honestly, we'll probably never see those changes. And I don't understand why. People have been asking for Ninja and Dead Silence as a perk forever. And I just don't understand why they refuse to put it in the game. Also, Battle Hardened sucks. It feels useless to use when it only lessens the effects of the tacticals instead of making you immune. It just doesn't make sense to be running Battle Hardened when you still end up getting flashed, you still end up getting stunned, you still end up feeling all the effects of the tacticals. I really think it needs a buff, and I hope we see the change. I really do, because it makes it so much harder for objective players to play the objective. If you're playing on a hard point and you have 50 flashes coming in because everyone wants to run a flash or a stun, you're pretty much useless because you can't see what you're shooting at. Finally, the last thing that's alright are the footsteps. They're a lot more quiet than they were in the beta, but they're still decently loud. So as long as you have a decent headset, you can easily hear where the enemies are coming from. And the directional audio of the footsteps is amazing. So you can hear the enemy footsteps and know exactly where they are coming from. This allows you to get the drop on an enemy coming. However, that means if you're running, they could easily get the drop on you. The only way to make footsteps quiet is by using the field upgrade Dead Silence. But it's a field upgrade, not a perk. So you only get to use Dead Silence a few times throughout the match. And you don't unlock Dead Silence till level 30. So that means you have to go 30 levels while being heard everywhere you go. The only way to prevent this is by using a pre-made class, but that means you have to use a pre-made class for 30 levels and you can't level anything else up, so it's a lose-lose. I know that there's some people that don't mind this, while others hate it, and I personally am not the biggest fan of it. I really wish Dead Silence was a perk, and who knows if we'll honestly ever see that change. Moving on, it's time to talk about the bad. The stuff in this game that I really don't like, and things that are currently plaguing this game. To start off, there's a terrible issue with this game crashing, for no reason at all. No matter if you're on PC or console, the game will just randomly crash all the time. It gets even worse when you're trying to play with friends. My friends and I literally spent 2 hours trying to play together and couldn't because of how bad the game crashes were. We spent 2 hours trying to play together. 2 hours. Yet none of us could play together because one of us would crash every time we'd almost get into a game. Not to mention, the game freezes a lot. Like if you're trying to load into a match, the game freezes.
Devin, we're almost done with this thing. Probably like 2 more games. She should be done. It's literally at the end.
You're trying to join a friend's party, the game freezes. You're trying to back out of a lobby, the game freezes. So you never know if your game is just frozen or you're about to crash. It's so frustrating to just want to play a few games with some friends, and you can't because every game decides to crash when you're trying to get into a party. I don't understand why this is a problem. It seems every new game that comes out is having this problem. It's like the new standard nowadays, and it sucks. How come we keep getting these problems? I don't understand it. I just want to play the game without it freezing all the time or crashing. Is that too hard to ask for? In addition to the game crashing and freezing all the time, there's so much missing from this game. For example, there's no leaderboards, barracks, combat record, hardcore mode, career challenges, and more. These are things that have been in Call of Duty every year since the start. Why are they not in the game? Like seriously, it doesn't make sense to why this game has been in development for 3 years and these basic things aren't in the game. There's no explanation for it either. Like the devs haven't said anything about it. It's honestly aggravating to see so many features of the game missing and have no reason to why. Some people literally play Call of Duty just for the hardcore mode and it's not even there. Also, for whatever reason, the double XP tokens don't have a timer, so you have no clue how much longer you have when you activate double XP. That's even if you are able to activate it, because half the time the game won't even let you. A couple more things the game doesn't have is the option to save a blueprint. So good luck trying to remember the list of attachments you like on a gun, or even the tune, because there's no way to save it. Also, there's a bunch of attachments in this game that don't say how to unlock them. So if there's a site, for example, that you think is cool, be warned, you might never be able to use it because it won't tell you how to get it. Oh, and if you're wondering why there's only 51 weapons when it got confirmed that there were 55, it's because 4 of the weapons are just missing. They're not even in the game. We just don't have them. So where are they? We could only assume that we're probably getting them as DLC because they want to push out the Season 1 pass because, of course, Activision is a bunch of money-hungry people and that's all they care about. Moreover, we have a lot of features that just are broken or don't work, like the new weapon tuning system. It's extremely buggy and you can't even make the precise adjustments you need to half the time. Also, the pings don't work in this game, but if you somehow are able to get them to work, the live ping glitches and stays in the same spot for the rest of the game. So you better have some accurate callouts because there's no way you could ping an enemy. Likewise, the new menu in this game is terrible. Like, I don't know who they hired to make the new menu, but they should be fired. It's so unorganized and takes up the whole screen. What happened to the list format that has been in every other COD game? Like, no one complained about that menu system. It's been good since the original Modern Warfare 2. Why did they need to change it? I can't find anything I'm looking for. I have to scroll forever to find what I'm trying to get. You can't even see your full list of classes. You have to scroll and scroll just to find the class that you're looking for. But unfortunately, I guess we'll just have to deal with it because we probably will never see it changing. Furthermore, skill-based matchmaking is back, and it is terrible. You literally get one good match out of every 5 you play. That's it. You have one match to hopefully do good and actually win a game and go positive. Other than that, the rest of the time, it feels like you're legit going up against pro players. Like, seriously. It feels like everyone on the enemy team just snorted a line of G Fuel and are playing for $1 million prize pool. If you're not trying your absolute hardest, you're losing the game and maybe getting like 10 kills. Call of Duty is no longer just a casual experience. You have to be playing the game like you're playing a ranked match at all times if you want to do good. Not to mention, the spawns are horrific in this game. So if you manage to do good luck getting a high kill streak, because 9 times out of 10, you'll literally have an enemy spawn behind you and gun you down. I'm spawning into enemy fire. What the fuck? Even though the rest of their team is on the other side of the map, the spawns don't make any sense and are so random. This is something that was again figured out in the original Modern Warfare 2. Your team spawns on one side of the map and the enemy team spawns on the opposite side. If a spawn gets pushed too heavily, then they flip. Bam! It's that simple. But of course they had to go and make the spawns completely random to help the quote-unquote casual player, which is the same reason why the pacing in this game sucks. The game promotes a slower playstyle, so if you're moving fast or rushing at all, you will easily get killed, because of factors like loud footsteps, slow ADS and sprint to fire times, fast TTK, no traditional map, and Ghost being an ultimate perk. That forces a slower playstyle to be rewarded, while rushing will just get you killed. It really hurts a player like me who loves to rush, push flanks, and move while being unnoticed. It forces me to have to change the way I play the game to be able just to do good. Additionally, this game finally added a firing range again, but it's terrible. It's super glitchy most of the time, and you'll have trouble getting in and out of it. Also, there's this weird bug, when you enter it, you'll automatically start firing your weapon. Then, for whatever reason, you can't shoot it again. Also, the firing range is probably the most bare bones I've ever seen out of every game I've played that has one. There's 3 dummies in the back of the range, and that's it. You can't adjust where they are, or how they move. You don't see how much damage you deal, or how good your accuracy is. It doesn't even show where your bullets are going, so it's honestly pointless to even use it. Finally, a few other bugs and glitches in this game currently is the bug where you can't see the mastery camo glitches if you play on mouse and keyboard. I had to plug in my controller just to be able to see how to get my gold camo and be able to equip it. Yeah, it might not be that big of a deal, but it is really an inconvenience to have to set up my controller just to see a camo challenge and equip it. There's another bug right now as well, which is literally not giving people the items within the Vault edition of the game if they purchased it. So for the people who decide to spend an extra $30 on the game, which is by no means a small amount of money, are not even getting the items for the extra $30 that they spent. They haven't fixed the bug either, so some people just have to end up rebuying the bundle again. Oh yeah, and one more thing. The game has hackers.
This guy's cheating.
What the fuck? I can't kill this guy.
He is cheating.
The pre-moles or whatever.
What the fuck? I can't kill him either.
Yeah, oh my god, he's blatantly cheating.
Trying to report his ass.
Enemy counter UAV is active.
Yes.
Yeah. It's only been out for a week, and the game has hackers. That's all I'm gonna say. The anti-cheat does not work. $1 billion company, and they can't even get a proper working anti-cheat. Gotta love it. In conclusion, my final opinion of the Modern Warfare 2 2022 multiplayer is that it is really fun to play, despite the fact that I have to literally change my playstyle to do good within the game. There's a lot of new mechanics and features that I really like, and I think are a great addition to the game. However, with how many bugs, glitches, and performance problems this game has, it takes away from that fun. Not to mention the fact that this game is literally missing a huge chunk of content there is, and there's no reason to why. There's literally core features of the game that have been in every single Call of Duty since COD 4 that are just not in this game. So honestly, I don't think you should buy this game, at least as of right now. Unless you're okay with dealing with all the problems that this game currently has, I would wait until the devs release an update to fix everything. I'm not sure when that will be because they haven't really been telling us much. I would assume with the release of Season 1, we'll probably get a huge update fixing most of the issues, but who knows? These could be problems that might take a few updates to fix. It's honestly sad that releasing a broken, unfinished game is the standard nowadays. Unfortunately, Call of Duty's not the only company to release games like this. It seems like every new game coming out has these same problems. It's sad to see because I love Call of Duty. I've played every single Call of Duty every year on release date. I've bought the same $100 edition of Call of Duty every year. I love this game and I'm extremely passionate about it. So it really sucks seeing a game that has so much potential and being as fun as it is to be plagued with all of these problems. I really wish that it could have launched better. It should have been launched better. It should be standard to launch the game finished and not broken. But instead, this is what we get. That's it for me though. What are your thoughts on the Modern Warfare 2 2022 multiplayer? Are you enjoying it, or are you frustrated because of all the problems the game has? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, then why not give it a like? And if you want more content like this, then subscribe. Anyhow, have a good day, everyone.
Oh.